the mask mandates and mask mandates. There's a curfew at 11:30, so things close down a little early here. I'm not sure how it would be in Playa or like Cancun, but as far as where I'm at, this part of the Yucatan, that's what it's like.
Okay. Okay. My bad. I just hit the live button and I didn't give your backstory. So.
Oh, okay. Like, we'll do it all over again.
Yeah. Sorry, my bad. So yeah, we got Brent Lore here again. You're live from Mexico, Merida.
Merida, Mexico. Yeah, it's the capital of the Yucatan, state of the Yucatan.
Okay. Yeah, so Brent and I are longtime friends. We met in Chiang Mai, Thailand. We hung out in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, and you've since relocated to Mexico. We did a previous episode on Mexico, but we didn't really drill down into the details. And yeah, quick announcement. I've got a trip booked to Mexico, Playa del Carmen, and the Merida is that's 3 hours away from Cancun. Is that right?
Yeah, about the same on a first class bus, about 3 hours west of Cancun and Playa. So either way, it's about 3 hours.
Okay, great. So yeah, I got a list of questions here to make sure I don't miss anything. So yeah, this is my goal here, is to make this practical for anyone that's actually going to be traveling and asking the questions like, okay, where do I get a SIM card? Should I bring some Mexican peso cash before? Yeah, so you're just answering the COVID question. So you mentioned that your relatives just came from the States. They were fully vaccinated. Is there an app that you enter in your information before?
No, there's no requirement upon entry for being vaccinated at all. But I'm fully vaccinated. My wife's fully vaccinated. My in-laws that came are fully vaccinated. But since there is no requirement in reference to vaccination, the guidelines and restrictions are a little tighter here in terms of curfews and mask wearing than probably back in the States. I'm not sure what it's like in Vancouver where you are. But masks are required by law everywhere for the most part.
Everywhere, even outdoors?
Yeah, everybody wears them outdoors. I mean, if you're outdoors and nobody's around, I mean, I take off my mask if nobody's around. But if I see someone, I pop the mask back on.
Okay. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
And then so inside, if you're with like a friend or your party, do you have to? So
let's say you want to go out to a restaurant and eat. You just, they will pretty much at any business, there will be a sanitizing station and temperature checks to required entry and masks. So they check your temperature everywhere. But once you get to the restaurant, you can take off your mask and you're free to eat or drink or whatever you want to do. So
okay, so they are still open for dining.
Correct.
Okay, where did I think I put myself off. I got too many tabs. My bad. I was actually looking at the COVID cases. That's actually quite high.
Well, Mexico is a gigantic country. And it varies from state to state, city to city. Here in the Yucatan, I believe they're vaccinating, or specifically here in Merida, they're vaccinating down to, I believe, 30 years old at this point.
Yeah.
So again, it just varies on where you're located. The cases are very low here. I believe where I have it might be at this city, which is a good sized city. It might be I believe it was 600 or 700 a day last I checked. So it's not crazy, but I mean, okay, 10,000. Now keep in mind, if you're at 10,000, a city, a state like Florida just the state itself is at about 4,000 a day averaging now.
Okay.
So in the whole scheme of things, it's not terrible. Yeah, there you go, the Yucatan. Let's see where we're at. Yucatan.
Is that the Cancun area, or that's the
greater region? I believe this is where the state that I'm in. Yeah, so there you go, right there. You're at less than 200 a day at this point. Probably averaging 300 a day.
Okay. And Playa del Carmen, is that also the Yucatan, or is that a different
I
region?
believe it's Quinta La Rue, I believe is that area. Begins with a Q. There you go. Quintana Roo. There you go.
Okay.
Roughly
Not
the
too
same.
bad.
Roughly
All
the
right.
same. Yeah, and again,
Yeah.
there's mask wearing everywhere here. I'm not sure about Cancun and Playa, what it's like there.
Yeah.
But I've been here since April. I feel very safe with everything that's going on with the pandemic.
Okay. Yeah, I guess that's something I can ask my Airbnb host. That's one of
Yeah.
the reasons why I went with it. Is just you got someone to ask some questions, but I have a feeling that you will have a lot more answers.
Go ahead.
Some questions.
Keep them coming.
Okay, so yeah, Vancouver is easing up here. We're in phase 3, so I'm starting to see people not wearing masks inside for grocery shopping, and they're allowing group gatherings of certain sizes now. So it's taking some time to get used to. And I just got my invitation for my second dose, and I think that's the same for a lot of people in their 30 to 40 age group. So yeah, it's
Yeah, comparatively here at the grocery at the grocery stores, you still have to wear your mask. Like my youngest, he's 9. They won't let him in the grocery stores just out of protection for him because they know
yeah,
that most children aren't vaccinated.
yeah.
So the grocery store he can't go into, but everywhere else he can go. We haven't had issues going anywhere else.
Okay. So you just basically keep him at home most of the time.
No, he goes everywhere. It's just specifically for go to the grocery store. We just leave them behind because
Yeah,
it's just easier, and
yeah,
we know they won't let him in. We've tried a couple times, so
yeah. Okay, we got a quick comment here. Mariana Gonzalez. Hey, you got a new
hey,
picture there without your glasses. Hey, feel free to ask us any questions. She'll also be heading over to Mexico.
nice.
So yeah, somewhere on here I've got Isla Major.
Mujeres.
Moher. Oh my god.
I thought my Spanish was bad, Greg.
Hola. Hola, señor.
You're lucky you're going to a place that there's a lot of foreigners. So I'm sure the English is much better than it is here.
Yeah, that's why I thought it would be a good starting point. I do want
Yeah.
to. I did book a month, so I thought, oh, since it's a little bit harder than usual to get to Mexico, I might as well just make a month out of it.
Yeah. Are you planning on staying just for 1 month only, or are you just going to kind of feel it out and see how the month goes?
For now, a month. I booked round trip. It's cheaper, and yeah, I'm not sure if they need to see ongoing flights when.
No, they didn't ask. And I landed in Mexico City.
Yeah,
So they didn't ask for anything. All they asked for was why we were here. So
yeah. Yes, I'm lucky. Yes, thanks, Mariana. Yeah, what was I asking now? Oh yeah, so it's 6 months for most countries just to enter. But then I read somewhere that they'll give you 30. Sometimes they'll give you 30, 60 days.
I guess it depends. It's just like any immigration officer. It's at their discretion, really.
Yeah,
I landed in Mexico City first before our connecting flight here, and it was 3 or 4 officers, and they just said, "Why we're here." I said medical for medical
yeah,
reasons because my wife has braces. She wants it part of she wanted to get them off here. They're off
yeah,
now.
yeah.
But yeah, that was it. And they gave us 180. They wrote it on our little visa form that your arrival card
Yeah.
and stamped it, and that was it. We were in and out in like 3 minutes once we got to the immigration officer.
Okay, so tourism won't cut it anymore.
I mean, you could probably get by saying tourism. I just figured medical would be the better way to go because it's supposed to be essential travel that they want.
Yeah.
So I guess medical is considered essential travel because medical tourism is a pretty big thing here, especially in this area with dental work.
Okay. Okay, that's you got me interested now. Like because I've done a teeth cleaning in Malaysia. Is it
Yep,
comparable in
it's better.
Mexico? It's
Better.
better.
Yeah, but the quality of care here is better than Malaysia, I would say. In
Wow.
term, yeah, I've been to the hospitals here.
Yeah.
I thought I broke my toe. I kicked the stairs trying to surprise my son. I thought I broke my toe, and there's a brand new hospital around the corner. And for the X-ray, the ER visit, and the doctor consultation came out to 25 US, and I was out in about 45 minutes.
Nice.
And I just had dental surgery also,
Hmm.
um, in a root canal, and the root canal was 175 US, and the dental surgery was 400. Now the root canal I think would normally be 1200
Yeah.
US on average in the States, and the surgery was like 4,000. It would be in America. So
Okay. And just a general teeth cleaning, like 20,
it was
25,
30
50.
bucks. It was like $30 for general teeth cleaning, and
Oh,
I think to
nice.
have a cavity redone, replaced or filled, I think it was. They said it was 40 bucks, 40 US.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I better get teeth cleaning. It's like $400 or $500 Canadian here. You know,
Wow.
they play the game like,
For
oh, you
teeth
haven't.
cleaning?
Yeah, yeah, because they don't just want to do a teeth cleaning. They want to check up everything. Oh, we haven't seen you in a while. We want to kind of just do the general checkup, and then they just won't give you a straight quote.
Yeah,
That's the
it's
way it is.
different here. They it was 25 for the cleaning and an X-ray. If you needed any scaling,
Yeah,
if you had any target, that was included. And they just if they tell you what's going on, and they give you options on the types of treatment. I did the root canal. They said I needed it badly, and they said I could have waited 2 or 3 years to see how the root canal would take place as a old sports injury.
yeah,
Or I can just get the dental surgery and call it a day, and that'd be the end of it, and just rip the Band-Aid off. And I opted for the dental surgery. Instead, I didn't want to wait 3 years to see if maybe I needed something else again. But yeah, the doctors, the dentists here are awesome. So
yeah. Do
very
they
impressed.
speak English?
Yep, they're fluent in English as
Oh,
well.
nice.
So, and their bedside manner is excellent.
Yeah,
And it's just very odd to me as an American getting having a doctor that cares about you comparative. In America, you just a number really to most of
yeah.
the doctors there in my experience.
Yeah. Yeah. Same in Canada. It's like first 1-star service.
Yeah, no,
Just kind of get
they're
you in and
excellent
out.
here. We were my wife and I both went. My father-in-law went when he was here, so everybody's very pleased with it.
Yeah. Great. Hey, just a little thing. Is your webcam, is it HD?
Yeah, it says it's the Mac M1. I think it's 720.
Okay. Oh, nice. So yeah, you can actually click the little cam setting if you go to advanced.
Yep.
Because I think by default it's set to the 480.
No, it says I'm on high definition 720.
Okay. All right.
Could be my lighting because it's raining here now. My natural light. Hold on, let me turn on my light. Let's see if I get some better light.
So there's a 2-hour time difference, right?
Yes.
So that's nice. It's 3:30 Pacific, 3:47 Pacific time. So that's a good thing for people who need to make calls with.
Yeah, it's
clients.
convenient. It's convenient if you have a client call and they're anywhere located in the West.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Central Time here. So New York is 1 hour ahead, and the West Coast is 2 hours behind. So you're kind of in the sweet spot.
Yeah. Okay, so you're at the airport and you got your stamp, and then so I think you probably told me this before about the SIM card.
Yeah.
So you go with Telstra, is it?
Telcel. So
Telcel.
there's AT&T here locally,
Yeah.
and there's Telcel. That's the main carriers.
Yeah.
From what I read prior to coming here, that Telcel had the best service all over Mexico.
Yeah.
AT&T was good as well, but Telcel had the best tower network. So that's where I went with. And I'm paying, I think it's like $10 US for like 3 gigabytes of data.
A month.
Yeah, a month. Yeah.
Okay, and
And
that's good enough because you
yeah,
spend
I
most
mean,
of your time
I
at home.
don't do a lot of like uploading or watching videos while I'm out and about. So
Yeah.
I was on the 6 GB plan, which was about 25 US.
Okay.
But I wasn't using it. So
So like if you go to Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, you've got Digi and all the SIM card providers at the airport. Is it the same at
yeah, it's the same
Can
thing at the airport. Yeah, you can
because
get
you
a
went to Mexico City. I'm assuming Cancun's the same, right?
yeah, I would assume it's the same. They have them right there in the airport.
Yeah. Um, and then
Just need your passport and show them your passport.
okay. And then I guess it's wise to bring some Mexican pesos with
Not
you.
ne- Not necessarily. No. I didn't. So my bank has no international fees at all.
Yeah.
So the only fees I get assessed would be at the ATM, and typically the ATM fees here are about $1.50 for an ATM, $1.50 US for
Okay.
ATM fee. So it's very reasonable. But it does vary from uh, from bank to bank and ATM to ATM. But
Yeah.
there are currency exchanges in the airport,
Yeah.
and there are ATMs as well. So you don't necessarily have to land with pesos. You can go just to the ATM and grab some.
Yeah.
But if you want to come with Canadian money and exchange it in the airport, you can as well. It's like, I think it was about 19 to 1 last I checked for the exchange rate. So
Yeah.
19 Canadian, that would be I don't know what the exchange would be for Canada, but for
Yeah.
US, about 19 and some change. So I just round up to 20 to 1, and that's how I do all my conversions when I'm figuring out prices.
I normally just bring my XC currency app and
That's that's how I started. I figured that, and then once I figured out everything, it's just math.
yeah, once you get more comfortable with
Yeah,
the
yeah.
currency.
Mhm.
So, do they only use Mexican pesos or do they accept US dollars? Like,
So depending on what you're doing, so if I've tipped like delivery drivers, if sometimes I ran out of pesos to tip them, I tip
yeah,
them in US dollars and they'll take it. Um, but typically, most of the stores and everything around here either take, your credit card or debit cards,
mhm,
or pesos. There's not too many places that'll take. It's not like Lao. In Lao you can use the Thai baht and kip. It's not like that here.
okay,
Now you can tip drivers. They'll take it in USD.
yeah,
Um, and we were at the beach recently, and you can pay in USD at the beach for like service.
yeah,
But they added a premium. They wanted 15 or 20% extra on the bill just for giving them USD. So
wow.
we just walked to the ATM, which was down the street, and got the money out of the ATM.
Is there so there is a tipping culture in Mexico,
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's not like
Thailand, or
Malaysia where they're not used to it, or other countries they may not. Yeah, here you tip, and it's depending on what it is.
yeah,
The delivery drivers I gave like a couple dollars. The Uber I usually give like an extra buck. The typical ride for me is about $2 where I'm going,
hmm,
in one direction. So I'll give an extra dollar, basically half the fare.
yeah. And like when you're dining out, do they include it? Like some nicer places in Malaysia, they just include like a 10% service fee.
Yeah, sometimes they do. When we were at the beach the other day, they just added the tip in, and it was like 10. It was about 10%.
Okay.
It was like 10 to 15%. But a lot of places don't. So I just tip them. I just figure out whatever about 15% is and tip them.
Yeah. Okay. And then getting from airport to your destination, I read there's a lot of buses and taxis. My Airbnb host said it's probably around 50 US from Cancun Airport to Playa. And you said you did a different approach. You went to Mexico City. You stayed at a hotel.
No, so we flew. Our connecting flight was in Mexico City, and we flew right into Merida that night. But we got because it was late, because there's a curfew here and we got in late, there was airport transport, like the taxis. It was a van, like air conditioned van, similar to Thailand. And it was like $25 US from the airport, which is about a half hour to where we were staying. But here in Merida, you can use Uber as well. I'm not sure how popular it is. I'm sure you can take an Uber if you wanted from Cancun to Playa. And it's just
I think it's the expensive option.
I actually think the taxis are more money than Uber, to be honest with you, from what I've noticed. Because I paid to pick up my in-laws at the airport. The driver I know that I got familiar with, it was a $10 ride one way. He charged me. So I think it just depends. You can probably, depending on what time of day you get in, check Uber and see which one's cheaper and go with whatever you feel comfortable with.
Okay. You mentioned that the buses are first class, like pretty comfortable.
Yeah, I think it's called A1, I believe, the bus company.
Yeah.
I could be mistaken. But it's like a first class bus. I don't think did you ever take the first class bus to Singapore from Kuala Lumpur?
No. I think I was gonna take the train or something to what's that place called? Johor. Yeah, Johor. Yeah. Yeah, that I never ended up materializing, but I've taken the bus to Malacca.
Yeah,
that was pretty comfortable, super cheap.
Yeah, it's similar. I think it's $20 one way US to either Playa or Cancun. I haven't been on it yet. Just haven't been out that way yet, but I've looked. It's like $17 to $20 a person, and it's like 3 hours. And I believe halfway they stop and make you get off the bus, and they sanitize the entire bus, and then you get back on and you go.
Nice. And you think they're air conditioned?
Oh yeah, it's air conditioned. It's got like USB ports. I believe it has TVs, kind of like you're on an airplane.
Yeah. Awesome. Hey, Daffery. So it's hurricane season coming up, right? Or you're already in hurricane
season? Mid hurricane season, yeah. We had a tropical storm linger over us like a couple weeks ago, like 3 weeks ago, and it rained for like 3 days straight here. But typically it's just an afternoon thunder shower, and that's about it. It's very similar climate to Florida.
Okay. I got a link. It's like a weather tracker. I think it tells you if there's going to be a storm within the next couple of days type of thing. Is that something you check regularly?
The weather? It depends.
For hurricanes?
No, not really. I'll get updates about it through like whatever it is, Apple News, or if there's something going on at the Atlantic going this way. But as a Floridian, I don't really care until you can't trust hurricane forecasts until literally like the day before. They're so unpredictable. So you just kind of ignore it until it's almost upon you, and then you figure it out. Even then, it doesn't really do what they think it's going to do. So a lot of times it'll just completely change course and not even hit you. So I just ignore it until the time comes.
Yeah. And you're inland, right?
We're about 15 miles from the shore.
Okay.
So not that far inland. Yeah. I mean, I'm not like, so it's not like Playa where it's directly on the coast, but there is an ocean breeze here every day because it's not that far. So not that far inland.
Okay. Hey, Angela, love to move to Mexico. Well, why not?
Do it.
Do it. So I booked an Airbnb. I showed you the listing, and it seemed to just check all the boxes that a digital nomad would need: AC, fast Wi-Fi, workspace desks. What else? Comfortable bed.
It looked like a nice place.
Yeah, had nice common rooftop patio and a pool, and even some bicycles because it's not quite at Fifth Avenue.
Yep, that's the main tourist area there.
Yeah, and then I did some investigative work. Like you can see the name of the building, so I went to Google Map, and then I did some Google Map
Yeah, I do the
navigation.
same thing.
Yeah,
I do the same. I do some Google Map snooping and just see what's around it and see what it looks like.
yeah. But do you think that's like the right approach to just you could book like a Airbnb for 5 days just to get your boots on the ground and then walk in and
So I guess it depends with how long you are looking to stay. We knew we were going to be here for a good amount of time, so we just gave ourselves a week in a hotel.
yeah,
I didn't really like the Airbnb options at the time.
yeah,
And the hotel was just in a convenient area. And it just depends on what your needs are. I would say, like for you, as somebody who, you once you get your workspace set up, it's kind of a pain in the butt tearing it all down.
yeah,
So I think for you, a month right off the bat is great because at least it's predictable and secure. At least you don't have to pack everything up next week and try to find a new place.
yeah,
Now, if you were trying to stay longer term, 6 months or a year, I would say just a week in the Airbnb is long enough to find a place. I wouldn't stay longer than that.
yeah. And then just find a real estate agent or
Yeah.
something
Yep.
to do
And
a
it's
lease.
very it's kind of like territorial here. The agents are similar to KL. They just do certain areas. So you just have to find an agent that services that area, basically.
Okay. Yeah, I was happy to see that they had LCD monitors with HDMI ports, so I don't need to bring a monitor.
Yep. That's important. The second monitor. I'm using an iPad as the sidecar, and then I have an LCD monitor basically. So I've got a 3-monitor setup that I've been using.
Okay. Did you buy it? You buy it in Mexico?
No, that was actually provided by the landlord. So
that's nice.
It was a good thing. Yeah. So there was an extra. Bless you.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, there was a TV in the living room, and then there was an extra LCD for like a bedroom. So I just bless you.
Thanks.
I just snagged the second LCD, and it's my part of my setup here for working.
Okay. Like in Thailand, it's a little bit harder, more expensive to get a monitor. Like electronics, a little bit more expensive and hard to come by.
I would say it's similar in that way because there's a VAT that's added on, similar to Thailand. So electronics do come a little extra, but that's just rolled into the price. Like for instance, the Xbox Series X, not the X, the S, the white one. That was about $420, I believe, is the normal price here.
Yeah,
$420 US, and it's normally like $299 US to get it retail. Okay. But it was on sale for about $350, I saw, which is about $20 or $30 extra than tax in America. So it was roughly comparable. But yeah, the TVs are definitely, and electronics are a little more. So I would advise looking for a place, like you said, that has a TV that has the HDMI if you need it as a second monitor, or coming with the items you need ahead of time. That way you don't have to try to find anything at a premium.
Yeah. It's like I remember Chiang Mai. There was what was that place? Icon Plaza, Penta Plaza, where you get your electronics, and then you go there, and it's just you're paying a premium for like the really low end stuff.
Yeah, there is. So there's no the like for Apple products in here. I believe the only official Mac store, real Apple store, is in Mexico City. So here they have the resellers, similar to like Thailand and Malaysia.
Yeah.
But again, you're paying a little over premium, but it's it's to be expected. But if you do need some type of peripheral or a cord or something like that, you can get it. You just have to be prepared to pay a little bit extra than you normally would. In the States or in Canada.
Yeah, nice. How do you like the Xbox S?
My son has it, and they're on it all day, every day. I play NBA 2K with them, and that's literally the only game I play with them. They're
Is that
pretty.
a EA game?
No, it's the 2K game.
Okay.
2K has their own,
Series.
their own thing that they do. Yeah, but they play Call of Duty and Battlefield and Fortnite and Minecraft. That's what they're playing most of the time.
Okay. Yeah, I also got the Xbox. Probably I wouldn't pack it to Mexico. It's a little bit, even though it's pretty compact, it's a bit bulky.
Yeah, for you it'd be a lot probably because it's just you and you're trying to bring all your camera gear. But my son fitted in his bag, his carry-on, and he got it here. So
wow.
Luckily it's small enough. I don't think the X would probably be too bulky, but the S, because it's a little slimmer, was pretty reasonable to get on the plane.
Okay. Yeah, sorry about the sirens here.
No, you're good.
Yeah, I've been thinking about bringing the M1 Mac Mini. I brought it out to the co-work space, and yeah, that's it's a nice portable setup. You can just connect the TV and the cables, and boom, you got a video editing machine.
Yeah, I mean, it's small enough, especially if you have your compact keyboard to go along with it. I would bring it. I mean, I have the M1 Air, and I love this thing. I'm very pleased with it. Even though like I told you in our previous video, Adobe still hasn't put out the public official app yet. There's still beta in Premiere. So even though I'm not using the beta, it's still super fast comparative to what I was using before.
Yeah, nice. Okay, let's kind of get back to the Digital Nomad track. So once you're in town and you're just kind of doing your day by day, and then you need to get some cash, is there a particular ATM or you withdraw cash, or you can use your credit card? Or
so again, it depends on your bank. I would definitely double check to see if your bank has international transaction fees. Again, mine doesn't.
You use Bank of America?
Capital One.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Capital One.
We use Zelle, but then that's like a shared network.
Yeah, Zelle is peer-to-peer money exchange, basically, for sending money. So most majority of the time, I don't go to the ATM. I have my money delivered.
All right, you mentioned that on the last episode. You got an app, and
the app. After I'll send you the link after. To download it. And I believe it gives you like a $8 credit US for your first purchases.
Okay.
It's called Rappi, like Rapido Fast, and the app does pretty much everything. You can buy your groceries. You can do food from restaurants. The pharmacy, you can stuff from the pharmacy, the ATM, liquor. They deliver liquor. We had beer delivered from here.
Oh wow!
You can go to Costco on it. You don't even need a membership because there's a Costco. At least here in Merida, there's a Costco.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and a Sam's Club. I don't know about Cancun if there's a Costco or Playa. I'm not sure, but I know I know the Costco's here. So typically, I know it sounds a little weird that you're getting your cash delivered, but you're basically just paying through the app like a normal transaction on Uber Eats. And the delivery driver goes to the ATM for you. And as long as it's under 1,000 pesos, which is $50 US, there's no like security code that you have to give, and they show up at your door with your cash and hand you your cash. And it's roughly the same price as the ATM, maybe like an extra $1, I would say. As the ATM. It's just if you're not in a place that's convenient to an ATM, it's good to just not have to worry about cash. And they're usually here within like 20, 25 minutes.
Yeah. Is it mostly a cash-based economy?
I would say it's like 50-50. It just depends. Pretty much most places are on either Uber Eats or Rappi for meal delivery. But you can go out, and if you're at a market or like a little mom and pop shop, they might not have a card reader or a terminal.
Yeah.
And it's cash. So it's always good to carry some cash on you, just in case, as a backup, in case you can't pay with your card.
Yeah. And then like what I would do in most Asian countries is I would exchange US dollars. So then I would go to the money changer. Like I have my favorite one in
Thailand.
Kuala Lumpur. I'll go to Avenue K, or
Yep.
in Chiang Mai. Where would I go?
I forgot the name of the one in Chiang Mai.
Oh, Super Rich.
Yeah, Super Rich.
Yeah, they'd have the best rates. Is there something like that in Mexico?
Yeah, there's exchanges. There are exchanges everywhere. It just depends where. Again, they're in the airport, like any international airport that you've been to in Asia. It's very similar. And there are ones within the city, in the malls. I've seen them as well. I haven't used them just because I just go to the ATM most of the time, or use my card. So
okay,
I haven't had the need for it. Just the tip that I remember. Do you remember? Did you know Joni Fleming from Chiang Mai?
No.
So he's from, I believe he's from Finland, and he had told me years ago when you're at the ATM, when it asks you if you want to use the bank's conversion rate, the ATMs, to always decline it and let your bank do the conversion, because your bank is going to get a better conversion rate than the local bank. So that's a little pro tip when you're at the ATM, to always decline the ATM's conversion rate and take your bank's conversion rate.
All right. So that applies to Mexico.
Correct. It applies to anywhere. Anytime you're going to an international ATM, I always decline the conversion and let my bank do it. I usually get a better rate.
Yeah. I would always, I'd do that in Malaysia.
Yep.
But surprisingly, like I'd use a lot of credit card there, and the fees were actually quite fair when using credit card in Malaysia. But in Thailand was a whole different story.
Thailand, if you go to the ATM in Thailand, it's like $8 US. That depending on which ATM you're going to, and also again it varies on your bank, because there's some banks that will charge you an international ATM fee on their end, and then the ATM you're at in the country you're in is charging you as well, so you get fees twice. But again, typically here I've seen it's about $1.50 is the average that I've noticed. Super touristy areas, I've seen them as much as $8 US.
Wow.
And that's when I just turn around and find another bank. But it just depends.
You haven't tried to open up a local bank account?
So you can if you have a short-term residency permit. I don't believe you can on a tourist visa. But if you want a short-term residency permit, you have to get it from your home country. And I believe it's about $36 US for 3 years. And you just have to show you make X amount of dollars per month. I believe it's like 2,000 US per month. Through bank statements.
Sounds like it's a more longer term stay thing.
Oh yeah. I mean, they say if you want to stay longer over 6 months without having to worry about doing visa runs, then you should do the short-term residency permit.
Right.
Otherwise, you gotta leave every 180 days and come back. But you don't have to go back to your home country, and you don't have to be gone a certain amount of time. I'm sure you can be gone for a day and turn around and come back, like if you're going to Laos or something like that.
Right. I think you said, let's talk about the digital nomad community. I think you said you haven't really gone to a lot of events or met a lot of nomads because you work from home mostly. Right?
Neighbors are actually, one is, he's a singer, and his partner is a YouTuber / copywriter. So they're doing the digital nomad thing, and they're doing some travel vlogging as well. But considering the pandemic and the state of things in terms of trying to go to, like, if there's any meetups or anything like that, I haven't really looked because I'm not trying to really
Yeah.
around strangers that I don't really know if they're, you know, if they're going to get me sick or not or something like that. So I'm just out of abundance of caution, I haven't really checked to see. I do know people. I do have a friend that I met in Thailand that she's here long-term now in Merida, and another family friend of my wife's that she was in Kuala Lumpur and they moved here because her husband's from here, from KL a few years ago. So I do have a little built-in tiny social circle here.
Yeah.
But you know, given the state of things with the pandemic, I'm just very cautious.
Yeah. I think that's a good point. A good reminder to, we're not in, you know, the earlier times where, you know, you just go to an event and meet random people, and especially like they're pretty
nomad
lax.
coffee clubs.
Yeah, no nomad coffee clubs.
Yeah.
Are they? Do you know if they're still running events? You're probably in those Facebook groups.
I don't know. You know, the things change so much in Thailand that I have no idea.
Well, I mean, I meant in like Mexico, like they've got like a Playa del Carmen group, and
yeah, I'm sure there are those groups here. I told you earlier, I deactivated my Facebook like a few months ago. You know, the election in America kind of traumatized me, and everything prior to that, and Facebook was just so toxic that I just decided to just deactivate it, and I haven't been back on it since. So I do miss some of the groups for information and networking, things like that, but you know, currently I just don't feel the need to be using it right now.
Yeah. I mean, just on a side note, I know a lot of my Vancouver friends don't use Facebook anymore, but they use WhatsApp, which is on my.
Of course, yeah. Well, you know, the world at large is hooked on WhatsApp, and regardless of their privacy issues, they can't get off of it, and they use it here too for pretty much everything. That's how they communicate here for the most part. Everything's through WhatsApp.
Okay, so no line app.
No, they don't use Line. It's all WhatsApp. And you know, I do food. Some restaurants I will do orders through WhatsApp too, because some of them just aren't on Uber Eats or the Rappi app. So I'll use just WhatsApp them and they'll deliver. Okay.
Have you heard about Nest Co-workspace or Selena? If you have you heard good things?
Here
in I guess in like Playa del Carmen or Tulum. I think they have a chain of co-workspaces.
Hold on one second. Sorry, I got my security calling me. Hold on one second.
Okay, no worries.
Hola. Mr. Tofu. Oh, okay. Un momento. Entra. Gracias. Sorry about that, Greg.
No worries. I'm picking up
a food delivery.
Oh, your dinner's arrived?
Yeah.
Vegan?
It's just some grocery shopping I needed to do.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to just give me a second. Sorry.
No worries. Anyone watching have question for Brent if he has to go?
Give me 2 seconds. I'll do that.
All right. So while we wait, I think I can show you the co-workspace I was talking about. It's called Nest. So we'll just take a look at what it looks like and some of the plans. But yeah, again, I think with the pandemic, maybe it's a good idea to be a little bit cautious. nestcowork.io. Here we go. Oh, their website's not secure.
Oh, that's not good.
No. Well, maybe it's not the right one. No, I don't think it's the right one. This is in San Diego. Whoops. Let's try again. Co-workspace. Actually, remember Chris the freelancer?
Yes.
bought his Digital Nomad guide.
Oh yeah.
So I was actually looking it up for in the Playa del Carmen section, and then he mentioned Nest as a co-work space.
Where's he at now?
I think he's back in Australia.
Oh, okay.
He's a slow mad now, a settler.
Slow math.
He has an amazing following on YouTube.
Yeah, he grew quite the following.
Yeah. Yeah, here's some of their plans. Monthly plan 180 US. And it doesn't say whether it's 24/7. Weekly plan $60.
Yeah, I'm not sure like what the whatchamacallit would be. Like how open the co-working spaces would be here. So that's something definitely you should probably maybe contact them before you go, just to make sure that they're open. Because I believe every place is every state is going to be different at this point.
All right. Yeah, it's a good reminder that the pandemic is still going on. They just started open up co-work spaces here in Vancouver, and I'm like the only one. I think it's just things are slowly opening up. All right, Mariana. Okay, you're Chris the freelancer viewer. He's in Queensland now. Okay.
Oh, there we go.
Queensland. Is that Brisbane? Yeah, I remember we did an interview at Pun Space.
Oh yeah, Pun Space. Wow.
Yeah, his SEO is just when I search my name, his podcast like beats out my like good. Anything I have online. Yeah, there's another co-work space. Like Lonely Planet has actually started to write some articles about Mexico. I'll just share this one out here. Have you heard anything about Tulum?
In reference to what?
For digital nomads?
I think Tulum is more like you're either going to be there for like a super short amount of time, or a long time. I'm not sure because Tulum's kind of pricey.
It is pricey from where it looked.
Yeah, so I'm not sure if it's something that would be good. Any type of for long-term digital nomading, or even short-term, it's just super duper expensive. Especially if you're anywhere near the coast.
Yeah.
It's just so much more expensive if you're not in the city, because there's just basically two different places, and you're either literally on the coast, which is insanely expensive, or you are, you're on the city. So it's just, I wouldn't probably recommend it for any type of long-term digital nomading unless you can afford it, basically, is the best way I would put it.
Yeah. I mean, from what I've read and watched on YouTube, Lost LeBlanc, another YouTuber from Canada, he visited Tulum a couple of times, and the first time he spoke about the prices and then some seaweed on the beach, and then I think he found a place that's a little bit further away from the beach.
Yep.
But it seems like it's kind of like got the bohemian meditation, spiritual vibes.
It's definitely along the lines of like Bali-esque, I would say. And not a bad thing. I haven't been there yet. So hold on here.
Okay. I'll just share. Oh, this is one of the spaces they have in Tulum, and it looks like they've got spaces all around the world. But I was just looking at, what does a couple of nights cost here in this co-living space, and it was some ridiculous price, like it's $200 to $300 a night type of thing.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah. So I thought my idea was just have a base in Playa del Carmen. The prices on Airbnb are reasonable, and then that's a good base to go explore and go visit, since it's in between Tulum and Cancun.
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely check out Tulum if you can, since you're right there. I don't see why it would be a bad thing. It's beautiful from what I see. You just got to. The one thing I did read about Tulum is that a lot of the hotels and things like that their wastewater goes right into like the jungle, basically. So it contaminates a lot of the environment around it and the beaches as well. So that's just one thing to be mindful of if you are going there. If that's something that matters to you.
It's not eco-friendly.
Yeah, when it's not, even though it comes off as eco-friendly, it's not terribly eco-friendly, which is kind of sad because it's such a beautiful place. So that kind of was a little off-putting to my wife and I when we were really excited about going there.
Yeah.
But when we found that out, I was like, I don't know if I really want to contribute to that and put my money to encourage hotels and things and resorts to continue doing what they're doing. So yeah, just something to be mindful of, just depending on, I guess, what your viewpoints are on that.
Yeah, just looking at some of the activities they have it outside, like daily yoga, tacos, and full moon parties, and
very where's the full moon party at in Thailand? Koh Phangan?
Koh Samui. Yeah, Koh Phangan.
Koh Phangan in Bali. Very, very Bali vibe, Koh Phangan type vibe to it. So yeah, I mean, I would definitely, if you're there, I think it's only like an hour from Playa. So I would definitely, if you're there, might as well shoot down and check it out.
Yeah. Let's make it a day trip, or I can stay a night or two. So the other island I mentioned, I butchered the name.
Isla Mujeres.
Isla Mujeres.
Yeah, there you go.
Have you checked it out? Checked it out?
Yeah, we've looked at it. It looks beautiful. Again, that's another place we've looked at. I believe it's off the coast of Cancun, if I'm not wrong. But just be mindful this time of year, the seaweed is bad.
Oh, really?
On the Caribbean coast, so the beaches might not be as beautiful as they look like right there in that photo.
Yeah.
That's just, again, something else to be mindful of when you are, going to these places.
Right. Yeah. Sometimes it's full. The expectations don't meet reality, depending on
what you ordered on Wish and what you received.
Yeah. Are you familiar with Sergio?
What's that?
He's a digital nomad friend I met from Chiang Mai, and then he's actually been YouTubing a lot about Mexico, like in Puerto Vallarta, Isla Mujeres.
Maybe I've seen him in passing. Was he there when we were there?
I mean, I've been there so many years. I think it was like 2016, 20.
I probably have seen him then, because that was 2015 to 2017. I was there.
Yeah.
Till November 2007. So I'm sure I probably saw him, but I'll have to look him up though.
Yeah, he's doing good work. I think he was a coder, and now he's like using Canon R5s and R6s and drones. Nice. And yeah, he puts a lot of work into his videos, like 20-30 minute long episodes, and I think he's sponsored by Nomad's List now. So
awesome. Which I just heard Nomad List is completely paywalled now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like I believe you have to pay $90 to even use it. You can't even use it at all anymore.
Oh man. What's his name? Peter Levels.
Yeah.
He's a tycoon now.
I guess he wanted to cash in.
Yeah, well, he gave a lot of free information for many years.
Yep.
Okay. I haven't been here for a while, actually.
I haven't been on it in a while either, but I guess from what I was reading on Reddit, to use anything else in terms of any more of the granular things on here, you have to pay.
Okay.
It gets a little finer in the details for the forum.
And you can actually chat and meet people on there.
Yeah.
Now, how do we find? It looks different now.
So I guess you would there's your search right there. There you go.
Playa. Did you look up Merida on here?
I have not. I believe I did before I came, and this wasn't paywall then. I don't remember where it was. It might have been like number 30 something at the time.
Yeah.
3.95.
Hey, great for AC.
Yeah. Yeah, the air is very clear here as well. Beautiful blue skies here.
All right.
At least where I am. So AQI stuff, you really don't have to worry about it at all. Okay. Not like Malaysia or Thailand. So that's a good thing.
Yeah. I haven't actually opened up that app for so long.
No, neither have I.
Pretty good. How do you spell Merida? Merida?
Merida. Yeah.
Let's check it out. 3.34. Family score okay. Air quality great, as you said. How's the weather now? Is it super hot and humid?
It's about 90 degrees Fahrenheit, which is what, 33? Was that 33?
I'm not sure. 90, you said?
Yeah, 90.
Convert 90 degrees Fahrenheit to Celsius.
90 degrees Fahrenheit is equal to 32.222
that was close.
Celsius.
Let's say 33.
Yeah, you're close.
That was close.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm used to it. And if you spent a lot of time in Thailand and KL, it's very similar. Depends on the day in terms of the humidity, if it rains or not. But if you're by the ocean, it's going to be much cooler because you're just going to have the ocean breeze, and it's always going to be a few degrees cooler than it would be like for me, where I'm a few more miles inland.
Right. So do you go out? You mentioned you went to the beach with the family. Do you go out a lot to eat, or do you go to Costco and you do the cook at home thing?
Because I have a family, we do most of our cooking at home, but we do go out to eat from time to time.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to think of like what a meal would be. I guess it just depends on the type of restaurant you go to. Like we went to a Brazilian steakhouse when my in-laws were here.
Nice.
And it was a really beautiful place. They bring the meat to you. They have all types of meat that they'll cut in front of you and put on your plate in a huge salad bar. And I think that was like, it might have been $10 a person.
Yeah.
For like all you can eat, which is pretty reasonable. And beers are like, buying a beer out is like maybe $1.50 for a beer.
For a Corona.
Yeah, or Modelo is like the beer here, one of the main beers. Modelo. There's Corona as well.
Yeah.
But I think a 6-pack is like $4, $4, $4 or $5.
Okay.
Yeah. It just depends on if it's a local beer or an imported beer.
I had Pacifico beer here in Vancouver. It's nice. Mexican food's actually pretty expensive here. Like
not here.
$15.
Street tacos are like 25-50 cents.
Wow.
Yeah. So again, it just depends on what type of food you want, really.
Yeah.
Do you want the high-end experience? They have that. Or do you want the street food experience? They have fast food. There's Burger King, McDonald's, KFC, Dairy Queen. There's all that here as well.
Yeah.
So there's pretty much everything you want. A little light on the Asian food.
Yeah.
There are some Chinese food places here. But you know, specifically here where I'm at, it's not like a ton of choices. Not like Mexico City, which you'd have a lot of choice, pretty much anything you want.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if you're into Mexican food, it's delicious. It's super, super good.
What type of like this is a cultural experience for me as well. I mean, all I know is tacos and burritos. But are there any?
I mean, they have that here. They have tamales. They have let's see, asada, which is like a type of seasoning of a steak.
Yeah.
Actually, I went to a really good Lebanese place the other day, and well, I had it delivered. Actually, I had it delivered today again because it's so good. Falafel. You like falafel?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Those are healthy.
Yeah, it's amazing. Similar, probably as good as I've had in KL to the falafel I've had in KL at the Lebanese places in KL. Like, what was that place we went to? Halab? Was that it? Halab?
For falafels?
Yeah, yeah.
The one in Bangzar?
Yeah, no, in KLCC in Bukit Bintang. Before you left, you remember we went to that restaurant?
Yeah, Halab.
Yeah.
Middle, kind of a nice Middle Eastern place you can sit down with a group of people.
Yeah, it's good. But again, I think it just varies from city to city and place to place. In the Yucatan, it's the natives here are like they're Mayans, like from the ancient Mayans. There's people here, so there's Yucatan style food.
Yeah.
So it just varies from region to region and city to city on what type of food you're gonna get.
Okay. What do you usually do for breakfast there?
I'm fasting typically, so I don't eat breakfast.
Right.
So
healthy.
I won't eat till my wife and I typically won't eat till like 11, 12 o'clock, depending on how long our fast is. So,
okay.
But there are breakfast places here. They have like diners that we took my mother-in-law to, which they loved. It was like a New York style diner, but Mexican style. So, and they have specific breakfast places that do eggs and sausages and it just depends what you're looking for, really.
Yeah. Every YouTube video I seem to see in Mexico is just all about street tacos, so I don't get an idea of the other variety of foods that are out there. But I guess we'll see.
Yeah, just kind of got to throw caution to the wind and be careful of the mystery meats, like in Thailand.
Ooh, so street food, be cautious.
I mean, you should be cautious of street food no matter where you are, I would think. But it's also going to be probably the most delicious. Like we stopped at, you'll be driving through the streets and there'll be a random house that has a sign that says whatever they make. And they have a sign and they're selling it out of their house. And my mother-in-law stopped and wanted something and she enjoyed it and said it was delicious. So I think, again, it just depends and use your best judgment.
How about vegan and vegetarian options? I think
there's a good amount here because it's very easy for Mexican food to be veganized. You can just tell them without the meat, and you just have to be careful what they cook it in. Some things they cook in lard, like pork lard. But yeah, I mean, there's a good amount of options here. I'd say 90% of the time we're eating at home. So the grocery stores do have pretty good options for the most part. Like the place I just got delivered now is called Mr. Tofu, which I believe they have in Playa as well. And that's strictly vegan food. So it's all types of vegan foods that you can purchase and you can get delivered. They'll either deliver on a bike to you if you're near them, or they'll ship it to you depending on where you are in the country. So,
we missed out on a very important nomad category, how to get around. Is it a motorbike culture or walking friendly? I guess it's different between which city you're in.
Yeah, I mean, so the central area here, which is like the downtown, you could pretty much walk everywhere because it's very city-like. Not with high rises, but just a city. But for me, we get around with Uber 99% of the time. And there are motorbikes, but not. It's not like Thailand where you pull up to a stoplight and there's 40 bikes. They're there. They're there, but it's not.
It's not as intense.
It's not. No, it's
not
nowhere
Vietnam.
near as tense, and they don't drive as crazy as Thailand.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So Uber is the best way. There's Uber and Didi. Didi's another delivery type app that they do food and taxi rides, but I'm not sure if it's available in Cancun or Playa.
Okay.
That's something you maybe have to download the app when you're there and see if it's available.
Okay. Great. I think that's everything on my list. Thanks a lot, Brent.
Hopefully I'll see you shortly. Take a trip up here.
Yeah, I got a month, so I'll have to figure things out.
We'll be also heading back to the States at the end of September.
Yeah.
I don't have a date yet, and we'll be flying from Cancun. So maybe I'll try to, if you're there, I'll try to hang out with you if you're still there and I'm in Cancun.
Yeah, I think I think my flight back is on the 20th, September 20th or something.
Yeah, we might be leaving around that. I haven't booked anything as of yet. So I got to go back. I'm going back to get my kids vaccinated. So I'll have to be there for a few weeks and then we'll head back here.
Oh, okay. You're taking them back to the States?
Yeah, they can't if you're not a resident, you can't get vaccinated here. So I got to take them back there so they can be protected.
Okay. Cool. Did you want to chat stock footage or?
I mean, you pretty much, through our speaking, you said that it's got very competitive as of when did you see that shift to just is it pandemic, since the pandemic that it's gotten more competitive, or was it prior to that?
I think it's just slowly over the past couple of years. You've seen Black Box.
Yep.
Sites like Black Box, which is actually launched by a Canadian CEO, and he's built a strong community on Facebook, and it's great because the contributors have leveled up, but now they're getting just the quality. Like you see the stuff, the stock footage that we get from Storyblocks is very high quality.
Oh, the store, definitely on Storyblocks, all the new stuff the production value is much higher than what it used to be, for sure.
Yeah. So the quality is higher. There's just less gaps. So if you can find a niche, like when I was doing it, I was doing a lot of drone stuff in 4K, 2016, 2017 on the DJI Osmo.
Mm-hmm.
I actually sold a lot of stuff like digital nomad footage in Chiang Mai, with a gimbal, with a built-in camera in 4K. But the stuff on my Panasonic GH5, it actually took some time. Like I found niches in food.
Mm-hmm.
Marijuana actually sells.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Because that was an unfair advantage because it was legal in Canada and not legal elsewhere. So stuff like that. You just have to find a niche and just be comfortable with it not selling for years. Like I'm still selling stuff from Australia. I shot in 2013. So there's a long shelf life for video that's at least HD. So
yeah, I know a lot of the stuff that I am downloading on Storyblocks because of the when I get client work, I'm not downloading in 4K. It's mostly just 1080 because it's living on YouTube or it's a Facebook ad or something like that. So it's not, it's not something that is required to be of high resolution because it's going to be compressed like crazy anyway. So but it is good to see that there are the options on there, and I don't even think, can you even, like, Storyblocks is like closed for contributors now, right? Like it's not like it used to be, right?
No, it's not like they used to be. They cut off the contributing, but it seems like there's still some new content being uploaded. So
Yeah,
I think they probably just have preferred contributors, and yeah, they're just using the subscription model now. But
which is
Pond
good
5,
because
yeah,
I get a lot of value out of the subscription model. Because one clip is basically a month. You can pay $70 US for one clip, where that's a whole monthly subscription for Storyblocks.
yeah, yeah, it's definitely good value as a customer, because Pond 5, like, when I'm getting $50 to $100 US sales, I mean, that's pretty pricey for the customer just for a clip.
Yeah, I mean, I've used like Pond 5 for like, I remember like a couple years ago, I couldn't find this very ultra specific clip
Yeah,
in Storyblocks, really anywhere, and I had to pay, like you said, like $50. I had to pay for it because that's the clip I actually needed for an important part of the video.
yeah,
But yeah, I think Storyblocks is a really good value for considering, especially now they keep expanding the library.
yeah. Well, I mean, there's different ways to monetize on the footage. I've sold footage direct from, like, I'll create a set, right? Like for like Japan, for example, because I've shot in all these different cities. I just store the clips on a cloud drive, and then I'd use Gumroad as a
Yep.
payment processor, and then I just do my own marketing through my site and YouTube, and yeah, people find it. Done it for Malaysia footage, and yeah, COVID footage.
Nice.
Yeah, and then other opportunities come up. Like we've worked together on commission footage, where someone needs particular
A very
shot.
specific store.
Yeah, yeah, and they'll hire you. I mean, the best job I got was being paid to fly drone footage in Taiwan for like a week's,
That's
the
awesome.
entire week. That's amazing. So yeah, I think good opportunities if you can do your own marketing and not rely on the agencies.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
they got so much traffic though.
Yeah, hopefully, the travel will open up sometime. I don't know when at this point. I don't know when we'll ever see days like it was pre-pandemic in terms of ease of travel.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it seems like Asia is having a hard time right now with the variants. So
Yeah.
yeah, hopefully you can experience some travel
Yeah,
again.
I need some nasi lemak in my life.
I never, I never kind of got into that dish, but
Really?
yeah, it's like the dried fish and a little bit too much rice.
It depends where you get it from. Every place does it a little different.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's the ones that I've had, obviously because I went to like a vegetarian or a vegan restaurant. It's really good. That's how I got into it. So, but I won't eat it outside of Malaysia at this point. I'm spoiled by the food. If that specific dish to that specific country, I won't have it anywhere else.
yeah,
I won't have pad thai outside of Thailand. I just refuse.
yeah. Same. I refuse to pay.
I'm not going to pay
$15 for a pad.
For a 50-cent or $1 dish.
Yeah, yeah. It's nothing like having the authentic food.
Yep.
So where can people find you? You're the Mexico resource for nomads. You got Instagram.
I guess the best way to be contacting me right now is Instagram. And my handle down there, Brent Lore. If anybody has any questions, they can just shoot me a message. So yeah, if you have any questions too, just shoot me a message, and I'll help you out.
Thanks, appreciate it. How's the YouTube channel? Do you have a family channel?
Yeah, it's B&E TV 3. 3 for our kids. I haven't posted anything on it in a while.
Yeah.
That's, I miss it in a way. And then, but like, you're a content creator. Sometimes you're just not inspired to create anything. And I've taken a long break from from YouTube, even though I'm sitting on, who knows how many hours worth of footage that I can make 50 videos from. But yeah, when I feel inspired again, I'll hop on there.
Yeah, I haven't actually shot a lot of stock footage lately. I've been in Vancouver for a year. I felt like I've shot everything, and I think Mexico, could spark that creativity again, and also spark some new ideas. I feel like I'm getting a bit stale being in one place for a while and not having the right environment around me. So
yeah, this will definitely at least get your juices flowing a bit, to be in a different place with different people and different smells, and be a little bit uncomfortable for a little while.
Yeah, there's a bit of that uncomfortable feeling, the uncertainty. I'm like, oh man, like all these questions, and I haven't experienced that for a while. I just sort of get stuck in a routine, right?
Yeah, it'll be odd for you again to get on a plane again. It's a little odd, especially when you haven't been on a plane in like a year. Like, I hadn't been on a plane in over a year before we flew here, and I was like, it feels good to be on a plane again and be moving around.
Yeah. Well, look forward to catching up. I guess we can chat offline about that.
Cool. All right, man. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, thanks for your time. Really appreciate it. And hopefully this, after some editing, digital nomads in the future can find it useful.
All right, man. I'll talk to you.
Okay. Bye.
Have a good one.